All right, guys, so now we need to create our register form. So I'm going to log in here and I'm going to enable registration because right now it's disabled. So we'll say allow registration and then I'll just log out. We have the link here, but we don't have the component or the route. So let's take care of that. So let's first go to app.js and let's add the route. So up at the top here, I'm going to go right under login and I'll copy that down and we'll go register and bring that in from auth register, which we'll create in a second. And then for the route, just like the login, we only want it to show if the user is not authenticated. If they're logged in, there's no sense in allowing them to go to the register. So I'm going to copy that and then just change this to register and change the actual path to register as well. Okay, so now we'll close that up and we'll go to auth, components auth, and let's create a file called register.js. Now this is going to be very similar to login.js, so what I'll do is just copy the login, the whole thing, and paste that in. And let's see what we're going to need from here. We'll keep all this. Firebase, we're going to need Firebase Connect so that we can actually register. State, we're going to keep that. The on submit will be a little different, but this will be the same. Instead of logging in, we're going to register. So I'm going to just get rid of this right here, and I'm just going to say register with Firebase. We'll do that after. Let's go down. On change will stay the same. It's just going to change the state whenever we enter something in the form. Let's see. We'll keep. We'll do the whole message, the notification. We'll have the alert here if there's any message. For instance, if there's already a user with the email that you try to register with, it's going to give you a message, and it's going to be put in here. All right. Let's change this right here to register, the heading. And then for the form, let's see, I believe this is all going to stay the same. State.email, on change. Yeah, this is going to stay the same. Password stays the same. Yeah, all this stuff is the same. And then down here, it looks like in the login we forgot to add the prop types of notify, this notify state, and the notify user action. So real quick, I'm just going to go back to login and just add those. So notify prop types, and this is an object. It's part of the state is required, and then let's do notify user prop types, and this is a function like that. All right, and then I'll just copy those two, and let's make sure we save this file and go to register, and we'll add those in as well. Okay, and then down here we're getting in notified. Now we also want to get the settings. So we want to get that from the state as well. So we're going to set a props called settings and get it from state.settings. All right. And then let's go up top here. And let's see, what we want to do is go into our on submit. We're already getting Firebase notify user. We're getting the email and password from the state. Now we simply want to call Firebase dot create user, and we want to pass in the email and password. So we want to pass that in, and then let's do a dot catch if something goes wrong, which is going to be if the user already exists. Then we want to notify user. We're going to call that action, and we'll say that user already exists, and the type is going to be an error. Okay, so let's try it. We'll save, and let's go back to our application. And then if we go to register, we have a register form. And the first thing I'm going to do is try to register as Brad at Gmail, which I already have as an account. So let's try it. And we get that user already exists. Okay, so we can't register the same email. So let's do test@test.com. And let's put in a password here and log in. Oh, I'll change that, but that we actually just registered. And if you look up here, it says test@test.com. So we now have a new user. If we go to our database, or actually if we go to authentication, you'll see we have a new user called test@test.com with a new user ID. All right, so pretty cool. Now I just want to change the button, because right now the register button says login, so I'm going to change the value here to register. Actually, we'll say sign up. No, register is good. Yeah. Okay, now the last thing I want to do is make it so that if we go to settings and we disallow registration and we go back and let's log out and we go to /register manually, it lets us, and I don't want that. If it's not allowed, we shouldn't be able to get to this page. So let's go back to our register component and let's create, or let's use the lifecycle method component will mount. So component will mount, and this fires off right before the component mounts. So what we want to do is we want to check that allow registration value. So we want to pull it out. We want to pull it out from this.props.settings. Okay, and then we want to just check to see if it's not true. So if not allow registration, then we just want to redirect. So we'll say this.props.history.push, which is going to redirect us, and we'll go back to /. Okay, so now if we go, and it looks like it already did it, but if we could try to go to register, it kicks us right back to the login or to the root. But if we log in and we enable or allow registration and then log out, we can go to the register page. All right, so that is it. Our application is finished. So in the next video, we're going to try to deploy it and make it live on the internet.